Hello guys, I'm Cambridge Rory, or Cambridge English Teacher Rory from studentlanguages.com, and in today's video I'm going to be critiquing a B2 first, that's FCE article writing. I'll show some corrections and then I will give it a mark based on the examiner assessment criteria. So let's get started. Here is the article question. It says, articles wanted. What can be done to encourage people to eat healthier snacks between meals, rather than something tasty but unhealthy? The best articles will be published on our website. Okay, and here's the student's original answer, but I'll make corrections on a copy here. I can see already with my knowledge of the size of the writing that it's a little bit longer than the recommended word count, which is 140 to 190 words, which might mean there's a little bit of irrelevant information. But let's have a look. So one more time, let's read the question. Articles. What can be done to encourage people to eat healthier snacks between meals, rather than something tasty but unhealthy? The best articles will be published on our website, so it's important to identify the target reader, which is a website. Normally the question in the B2 first exam will have more information than this. But okay, let's just presume it's a website that could be informal writing and be slightly engaging writing that we can use. Let's see if the writing fits those criteria. So encourage people to eat healthier snacks between meals. Okay. So it says, can you remember yourself last time grabbing salty nuts, chips or chocolate bars between meals? If yes, then this article is right for you. It is believed that healthy food cannot be delicious, so it is better to leave it to sport enthusiasts. But we are going to identify methods on how we can include carrots and broccoli into our daily consumption. Good, this is good language, into our daily consumption. Using but here is an informal linking word. It is believed is a nice construction also. So I'm going to add some of these to the language section. So there is evidence of some less common words and phrases, or more complicated words and phrases, I could say. For example, our daily consumption. There is also evidence of some less common or more complicated grammar structures. Used correctly, at least at the beginning. It is believed. Here. Sport enthusiasts is also nice language. So, next paragraph. First of all, it is important to find, so this is a nice linking phrase at the beginning of a paragraph. First of all, it is important to find some acceptable substitution for the junk food you are used to. Okay. For example, instead of eating salty nuts, you can buy fresh roasted almonds. If you like chocolate, you can try a dark one without sugar. I truly believe that a few more weeks of new habits will grow on you. Okay. Another thing that should be considered is dwindling the amount of unhealthy food at home. Okay, so dwindling isn't quite correct here. Dwindling means something is dwindling, it is becoming less. We don't normally use it in this way with food. To dwindle food. I don't think we can dwindle food. Something normally dwindles by itself. But it's good to try to use this less common word. So even though sometimes these are not entirely correct in the sentence, it is still good to attempt to use them, to use these types of words and phrases. For example, dwindling. To use it, and it's the same with grammar. It doesn't matter if you make some mistakes, it's better to try to use some complicated ones and make a small mistake than not to use any. Everything starts from your shopping basket. The less fast food in your kitchen, the less temptation to grab something inappropriate. Okay. And finally, it would be very encouraging to see and to follow more healthy examples between us in order to inspire each other. Be the role model, start healthy challenges, and unite people with common goals. Are you ready to be the next game changer? Okay, nice. So this is appropriately informal as well. Put that down here in the language column. The language is also appropriately informal and engaging for the reader. For example, question at the end, are you ready to be the next game changer? So I think on the whole the language is pretty good. I'm going to give it a 4, maybe a 3, but I'm feeling generous, more like it's a 4. This is a good grammar structure. Also, the less to show two things which happen simultaneously, using the and the comparative. Not many mistakes really in terms of language, so that's good. Grow on you is less common language, so nice. Okay, so let's have a think about content then in terms of the question. So the question was, what can be done to encourage people to eat healthier snacks between meals rather than something tasty but unhealthy? So eat healthier. Right, so yeah, okay, this article is for you if you did that, if you went for the unhealthy stuff recently. So yeah, that's good opening. It's believed it can't be delicious, but we're going to show how you can do it. So yes, that's appropriate and relevant. First of all, yeah, we need to find a substitution. Here's an example what you could do. Another example, and that this could work for you. Another thing, so that's nice also linking phrase, should be considered as dwindling the amount of unhealthy food at home. Okay, everything starts from the shopping basket. Yeah, good. The less fast food in your kitchen, the less temptation to grab something inappropriate. Good. And finally, it would be very encouraging to see and follow more healthy examples between us in order to inspire each other. Good. Be the role model, start healthy challenges, unite people with common goals. Really be the next change. Yes, okay, so I think that, yeah, most of the content is relevant to the question. Is the target reader fully informed? Well, so the question was, how can we encourage people to do this? And yeah, what we're saying is that we can encourage people to do it by doing these things here in this first paragraph. Yeah, and by doing this in the second paragraph. Okay, yeah. Cool. and the target reader is fully informed. So yes, good. In terms of content, I would also probably give it a 4. Maybe there's places where we could remove a sentence, but generally I think it's fine. It's only slightly too long, I think. Communicative achievement, also a 4, I'd say. The flow of the writing is easy to follow due to the use of linking devices such as words and phrases, such as individual words and phrases, along with the structure of the paragraphs, of the individual paragraphs. So for example, they start with a nice opening phrase first of all. Then the second phrase is an example. And the third sentence is another example. And the final sentence is that this can work. So yeah, it's a nice development of the paragraph with a opening sentence, an example, another example. It's a good structure to follow. So, and that actually is an organization also. So organization would probably give a 4 also. There are clearly separated paragraphs, firstly. There are also, and again, it's this thing, plenty of linking words and phrases, which give the writing a nice structure. On an overall level and on an individual paragraph level. Because we have this thing to do. Then we have this thing to do, which is slightly different because this is at home. This is testing new things. This is reducing the amount of stuff at home. And finally, it would be encouraging to see, yeah, maybe what I would do is actually I'm just wondering, it might not be a good idea to introduce a new point in the final paragraph. Maybe I would actually just sort of connect more with what you've already said rather than introducing a new thing. I think it's okay to say be the role model, but that's good. But maybe it's not the best place to be introducing a new point about making healthy examples between us. If you could maybe tie that into one of these 2 earlier paragraphs, I think that would be better. But still, I mean, it's pretty good. That's the only thing I could really say to change, and I don't think that's really enough to change the marks I've given here, to be honest. I'm going to stick with it, and I'm going to give it a 4 for all of them, which is a good pass. 16 out of 20, which would, if you got that same mark for part 1, it would be 32 out of 40. And you only need 24 out of 40 to pass the FCE writing paper. So good job, well done. I hope you found this video useful, and I will see you guys in another critique soon. Bye bye.